Hello everyone, my name is MI and welcome back to my channel. So if you guys seen some of my previous video talking about manga, you guys probably thought that hey, this guy is probably a huge manga reader, and you guys are 100% correct. I've read at least 100 different types of mangas out there and it's still going on up until this day. But today I am not going to talk about any Japanese mangas. Today I'm going to talk about comics that came from Malaysia, the country which I was born and raised in. So yeah, today I'm going to share to you guys 3 different comics which are actually thriller comics that was made in Malaysia, but all like made by Malaysians. If you are interested in these 3 comics, you guys can actually read it for free on Webtoons. And if you guys don't know any Bahasa Melayu or Malay, don't worry because all 3 comics are available in English, so you guys don't have to learn Malay just to understand the story. So yeah, you guys can just go immediately read it right after this video. Also, I will be linking all 3 comics links, Webtoon links in the description down below. So yeah, just click it down below and it takes you straight to Webtoons and you guys can go immediately read it. So yeah, now let's get into the comics. So we're going to start off with the first comic, which is titled Hope. Now, imagine this, you're just an ordinary high school student just doing normal high school students would do. For example, go to school, go hang out with your friends, go karaoke with them. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, the world just decided that humans are not enough in this god-forsaken world. Let's add some spice into the mix. Let's add zombies into the mix. So yeah, that is basically what happens in this comic series. The protagonist of this comic is Ten. Now, Ten is actually living with his aunt and uncle at an old flat in Ipoh. One day, Ten was having his usual karaoke sessions with his friends, and suddenly his uncle just called him, telling him to come back home immediately because his aunt was sick and behaving strangely differently than usual. Yeah, after receiving that call, Ten immediately head back to his old flat, and after he arrived there, he saw a zombified version of his uncle. This led to Ten having to kill his uncle with his uncle's hammer. So yeah, it's kind of like a gruesome thing to do, like you just came back home and then saw your family members turn into zombies and then you have to kill them. You know, this is like typical zombie stuff that you've probably heard it from any version of zombie media, as like movies and comic books. So yeah, after killing his uncle, he went outside and seen that people are either eating or killing each other in his flat. So Ten just decided this is not a very safe place to be at right now. So he decided to escape this flat. While escaping, he heard a little girl calling out for help. It was actually one of his neighbor's kids. He went over to that crying voice and then he saw that little girl begging for him to let her out from that flat because in that flat a zombie in it. So yeah, Ten, being the good boy he is, tried to help her, but unfortunately he was soon surrounded by zombies. And he knows that if he stays there any longer, he's gonna get eaten by the zombies, so he made the tough decision to abandon that little girl, and you know, she was probably killed by that zombie that was inside of the old flat. So yeah, I'm going to skip a few chapters ahead because I don't want to spoil too much what's going to happen between this time period. But eventually, Ten would get a voice message from her sister, who is currently working in Kuala Lumpur, telling him about the situation that is going on around her. After hearing that voice message, Ten decided to go to Kuala Lumpur to go see and or save his sister because she is the only family member left. All the others are already dead. You guys could say that his sister is his last hope of a family member, or like the last hope to give him a reason to stay alive. So yeah, that's basically the gist about what's going to happen. Now, the author of this comic book is Zen, which is a very well-known comic book artist in Malaysia. I think his most famous work is on the under 18 series, which is like a really old one. I think it was during the 2000s and early 2010s series. Yeah, but I really like this one better because it's not too long and it's like around 60 plus chapters, I think so yeah, you guys can just read it in just one go. I think that's all I want to say about this comic series. So if you guys are interested of what's going to happen to Ten's journey from traveling from Ipoh to Kuala Lumpur, who is going to meet along the way, whether he's going to be safe or not, whether he's going to reach his sister or not, go give it a read right now, right after this video. Now, the next comic that I want to share to you guys is titled The Weight of Our Sky, which is made by Hannah Alkaf, which was originally a novel, but it was soon adapted into a comic. Now, this comic tells the story about the tragic event of 30th May 1969 through the lens of our protagonist, Melati, a high school girl who is living with a single mother as her father has passed away. Now, if you're Malaysian, you would know what is 30th May 1969, and to those who don't know, it is Malaysia's worst racial discord where people were killing each other because of different racial profiling, and until to this day, it is known as one of the darkest moments in the nation's history. Okay, now let's get back into Melati. Now, Melati is just your any other high school girl, but she suffers with severe OCD. But in actuality, that OCD is actually a jinn, which is, from my personal opinion, that jinn is a massive gaslighter hater. Now, the jinn is constantly telling Melati that her mother is going to die if she does not follow its instructions. For example, oh, you need to tap your finger 3 times on every possible surface that you can find, because if you don't, your mother's gonna get run over by a car, get stabbed, get shot at, you know, die in a gruesome manner. Now, let's head on to the day of that tragic event. Now, on this particular day, right after school, Melati and her best friend Safina was actually watching a movie at the local cinema when suddenly a group of men, Chinese people, came into the cinema and demand people in that cinema to be grouped into different groups, which is one group is the other races and the other one is for the Malay races. Now, unfortunately, Safina looks really Malay. She looks how Malays would look like, and Melati was lucky enough because she does not have that, you know, that Malay kind of skin tone that much, as she is quite fair, and she was passed on to the other racist group. Now, that group of Chinese people took the Malay group into another room and asked the other races to disperse, get out of here. And then the Malay, you know, I don't need to tell you guys what actually happens to that Malay group, right? Like, you would know what actually happens. I don't need to spell it out, right? So yeah, after that, Melati knows that her best friend is probably killed inside of there, and then the only thing that came into her mind is that where is her mother? Like, how is she doing? Where is her current whereabouts? Is she doing fine? And during that night, like, you know, at that time many people are outside, are angry and looking to kill someone of different races. Like, the Malay people are out there to find Chinese people to kill, and then the Chinese people are out there trying to find Malay to kill, and Indians are probably just in the between of that huge onslaught. That's the story of The Weight of Our Sky, where Melati is set on her journey to go find her mother in amidst the chaos of the 30th May 1969 tragedy. And the jinn, which is her biggest gaslighter and hater, is not helping her at all. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention to you guys, her mother works as a nurse, so she's probably doing fine as of right now. But you know, the jinn is not helping at all, to be honest. For Melati, going through that tragic event and at the same time being constantly gaslighted. Now, that's probably the gist about the comic, where Melati is just really wants to find her mother, And after reading this comic, and as a Malaysian, it kind of opens my eyes that this was a really bad tragedy that happened towards our nation, my nation. And I'm really glad that I did not have to live through that tragic event myself, and I hope that none such events is going to occur in the future. Now, I actually remember a few years ago, after the 2022 general election, I think so, there was a few videos out there saying that, oh yeah, remember 30th May 1969, it could happen again. You know, like, I know that the people who post those stupid videos are probably kids, not knowing what is actually 30th May 1969. And you know, after witnessing some of those posts and videos, it leaves a really sour taste in my mouth. So yeah, if you really want to know the horrors of this tragic event unfold, you guys can go give this comic a read. And if you're also interested on Malati's journey to go find her mother throughout the tragic event, so yeah, still go give this comic a read. Buy some if any of you people who thinks this tragic event needs to happen again in the future, please go read this comic. And after reading it, please tell me, do you still think the same? If no, good, stay thinking like that, don't be stupid. And if yes, please stay away from me and you need help. Now, the last comic that I want to share to you guys is a webtoon series titled The Guy Upstairs, made by Hansa Art. Now, imagine this. You're living in an apartment and your upstairs neighbor is constantly making loud noises like dragging something heavy, loud stomping noises like someone is dropping something heavy constantly. And later on, you find out that that guy living upstairs is doing something illegal and suspicious activity. What would you do in that situation? This is what happens to the protagonist of The Guy Upstairs, Rosie. Now, Rosie is a single university student living alone in an apartment and doing part-time jobs as any normal university student trying to survive the uni life. So yeah, she has an upstairs neighbor who's constantly making a ruckus, and in the beginning she just ignored it, but one day she accidentally entered her upstairs neighbor's apartment. Then the neighbor came back home, so she instantly hid in an empty room inside of the apartment. And she also saw that her neighbor actually brought along a girl into his apartment, and then she witnessed him killing that poor girl in cold blood. So yeah, after witnessing this, Rosie got really scared and she needs to get out of that apartment ASAP and go report the murder to the police. Now that's all I'm gonna spoil to you guys right now, because if you want to know what happened to Rosie, whether she managed to escape the neighbor's apartment or not, did she go report it to the police, what happened to the girl's corpse, and what action did the police take afterwards. So yeah, go ahead and give this comic a read. And the thing I like about this comic, like, it has a lot of plot twists in it, and yeah, some of the plot twists are kind of predictable, but some are actually quite good plot twists. And you know, sometimes it gives me, oh wow, didn't expect that to happen, when wow, that character did that. Just give me that kind of expression when I was reading this comic. And yeah, currently the comic is on hiatus, in an indefinite hiatus, and there's actually no real ending to the story, and if it kind of ended in the cliffhanger, if I remember it. So yeah, and who knows whether the author is going to continue with this series or not. But still, it's still an interesting read. So yeah, if you guys are interested, go give it a read right now. Links are down below. So yeah, those are the 3 thriller comics that came from Malaysia, and if you're interested in it, go give it a read right now. and the links are available down there. If you guys are interested, just go click it and you guys can indulge yourself in the comics that you have chosen. What am I saying here? If you guys have any other comics that was made in Malaysia that you want to share with me, go comment that out down below. If I find it interesting, who knows, maybe I'll make a review out of it and recommend it to other people on my YouTube channel. I think that's all from me in this video. That's all the things that I want to share to you guys. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, remember to hit the like button, and if you want more content from my channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. You will be doing me a huge favor by doing so. And what more? Oh yeah, I actually made a new Discord server. I will be linking it down below too. So if you are interested in knowing what are my upcoming live streams and what new uploads that I'm going to make, I will actually make an announcement in the Discord server. So if you want to be one of the first people to know my newest upload and my latest streams, you guys can just, go join the Discord server. It's free. I will be linking it down below. So yeah, I think that's all for me in this video. So yeah, my name is MI, and thank you for clicking on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video / stream that I'll probably going to do in the future. Ciao.